Hey guys, welcome to the neighborhood. This is Pixel Street Videos, episode 152. Man, we've been doing this a while now. Wow, I just to be real here for a moment, I'm feeling so old lately. Okay, I am 29 and my daughter turns 9 in a little over a week. Just everything feels like it's just progressing so much right now. That's just I feel like an old man. But whatever, enough about my problems. I am your host for this week, John Hansen. Connor ghosted us apparently, and Joel is unavailable this week, so I decided to chill on Gillahan Island. I got Brent Gillahan with me. What's up, Brent?
Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for the pun.
Yeah, always. I'm slowly getting better at this hosting thing, but
Yeah, I've never heard that one before.
I feel like I did it last time and you said the same thing.
Yeah.
But so that's just going to be a
Continuity.
running joke. Every time you're on here, we're going to just go through that, I feel.
It could be worse.
Let's hop right into the podcast here. This week we'll be discussing some unfortunate, really disturbing things coming out of Activision Blizzard. EA Play Live 2021 was today, and we're going to spend some time talking about Pokemon Unite, a new free-to-play MOBA that is available on Nintendo Switch right now. But first, let's start off with the Activision Blizzard news. So right off the bat here, Activision Blizzard are being sued by the state of California over sexual harassment. So they had been under investigation for the last 2 years, and a lot of the things that had come out from that was a distinct lack in women leadership positions, enormous pay discrepancies between men and women being fired much more easier. There were moments of male workers coming in brazenly drunk and just talking about rape and really disturbing stuff. A woman ended up taking her life a while ago over some sexual harassment issues with Blizzard, and it's just some really disturbing stuff going on there. So I don't mean to start the podcast on a down note, but this was just kind of a massive thing that I felt like we had to talk about here. I don't really like doing these downer things with guests, but it's just kind of the position we're stuck in, Brent. So, Brent, when you hear that Activision Blizzard has just been doing some really shitty stuff over the last couple of years, what comes to your mind first?
It's fucked, man. Sorry, I don't want to cuss so much, but it's like...
Don't worry about cursing. Go for it.
Dude, it's fucking stupid. Like, the whole thing about this bro culture that so many, like, game development, like, studios have is just ridiculous. And I'm... not to laugh at this. I'm so, like, tired of all this happening so much in like a medium that I care so much about, and like there's so many people talking about like, yeah, well, I'm still gonna buy the games or stuff like that, and it's like, well, it's not really what this is about. It's like, sure, I'm still gonna play games, I'm still gonna enjoy it, but at the same time you kind of have to look at this bigger picture and realize that there are a lot of big things happening behind the scenes, and there are ways to prevent those, whether you want to vote with your wallet or whatever. But the big thing is accepting that these problems exist, and so many people don't want to do that. Like, these are big issues. Someone took their life because of this, and just sexual harassment like is rampant without like throughout so many big gaming companies. Like, it's hard for me, my favorite franchise, Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft is an awful company right now, so it's hard to juggle that, but at the same time, you have to accept that these things are happening, and I hope more people do that and then try to take in account, like, the hashtag, like, make Ubisoft accountable. Like, if something like that happens with, like, Activision, like, to find some way to, like, hold these companies accountable and get some leadership decisions, because even besides, like, these crimes, like, just everything of the CEO giving like extra money to himself and like all that type of stuff, like, that's not good. Like, none of these things this company does is good, and I'm just so... It just sucks so much that a hobby that I love is like drowned in so much like negativity and just awful icky stuff that just shouldn't be there. Just like, be good to people. I don't understand.
Yeah, of course, I'm right there with you. You mentioned you love Assassin's Creed. One of my favorite games ever is Overwatch. So I'm really excited for Overwatch
same.
2. I'm still going to buy it. And I completely understand anyone that says they're boycotting Activision Blizzard, that they're not buying Overwatch 2 or Diablo 2 this year or anything like that. I completely understand. Partly why I'm buying is because, yes, I love the game and I'm going to buy stuff that I like, but also it's part of my job to cover these games. It's just sickening, and hopefully some good stuff comes out of this. Some much needed changes at Activision Blizzard. The big thing with me would be starting with the head. I think his name's Bobby Kotick.
Yeah,
something
Kovic,
like that.
I think. Bobby Kovic.
Yeah, hopefully some changes happen there, and just sweeping changes across the industry. It's got to happen. This is becoming way. I feel like we hear this news way too often, and hearing it once is way too often. But
Yeah.
especially over the last couple of years, it's just been. This year it's Ubisoft. This year is Activision Blizzard. Next year it could be EA, which actually I think EA already has some of those accusations. So yeah, the thing with me is that this isn't it's not the workers suing them. This is the state of California going after this company. So that really makes me think, yeah, we've got a ton of stuff on you. Of course, I read a statement from Blizzard saying that they denied everything, that everything was false. Okay, whatever. I highly doubt it. But I guess we'll see over the next, let's call it year, what comes of this. Hopefully some better stuff. The gaming industry just needs to be purged of all these nasty, disgusting people. That's just all there is to it. I don't care how good they are at designing video games, even my favorite video games. Just be a fucking decent human being. And if you can't be that, you're not wanted here, you're not needed here. Like, go away and die. Sorry, that might be harsh, but no.
No,
not
it's
about
true.
this.
Like, it sucks, man. Like, you throw a stone and, like, you hit, like, 10 companies that are mistreating their employees with crunch or, like, awful things like this. And it's so baked into, like, a medium that we all love and enjoy. And it gets so complicated when you start to be like, oh, well, I like Call of Duty or I like Overwatch. So, like, technically that's not Activision. That's, like, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Blizzard. But at the same time, they're, like, still overlooked by this huge company. So it's like it does get really like muddied if you try to like go down that route. But like the main route you should take is try to hold these companies accountable and show them that like you're not gonna put up with this shit and try to do what you can.
By no means should anyone be attacking the developers on any. Well, except for the shitty male guys that like come in drunk. But from what I understand, this is leadership. Like, this is the same kind of things that we were hearing with like Cyberpunk 2077 last year, where CD Projekt Red were just the developers were like, "Hey, this isn't ready," and the leaders were like, "Hey, no, push it out. We got to do this." Like, this is just a complete failure on leadership. You got to wipe the slate there. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's just difficult because like if you don't buy Call of Duty, technically you're not supporting Activision, which is good. But you're also not supporting like Treyarch and like Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward.
You're not supporting the very women that are being attacked here and everything. Exactly. Yeah, it's a sticky mess. That's really all it is. Hopefully things turn around soon. Okay.
I'll just say what I've been saying for like 10 years. Fuck Activision.
Yeah, I don't know. They come out with a lot of good games I like, but yeah. The management, the leadership, everything you hear about them is just awful.
They've always been a shitty publisher in my I think all these developers could do what they want to do without Activision. Like just look at like Bungie does. Like Activision just does not need to exist, and then all this like awful icky stuff is just like icing on top of like these people do not need to be in power and have this position that they have.
In my opinion, it starts at the top. You got to get rid of Bobby Kotick, and then work your way down from there. But I don't know. I don't know anything about legality stuff. I don't know about corporate stuff. I don't know how any of that would be handled. Just these are long overdue moves that need to be made. That's all there is to it. Okay, time to switch gears now to something a little lighter. Well, okay, a lot lighter. EA Play Live was today, as of this recording, and we got a few, a couple announcements. This was supposed to be like their substitute for E3, but obviously they just had not a lot to show. So starting off here, we have the Dead Space remake was confirmed. This was leaked out pretty hard over the last month or two. So everyone knew it was coming. Brent, are you a Dead Space fan?
Yes, dude. I'm so excited for this.
All right, awesome. So yeah, this is a remake of the first game, and it is only coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. No PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, at least as of right now, which is a little bit odd to me. I'm also confused why they chose this game for a full ground-up remake. When we heard about these rumors and everything, I really thought that this would be just a remaster, maybe like a trilogy remaster, kind of like what they did with Mass Effect. I wasn't expecting them to completely remake the first game here. I haven't played all the way through it, but did this game actually need to be completely remade, in your opinion?
I don't think it needed to be, but I think it will probably benefit more than I think something like a Mass Effect would. Because, like, with a Dead Space remake, you were able to, like, really focus in on the horror. And, like, because with better graphics means better, like, lighting and things like that. And you're really able to, like, make this cool, like, cinematic type of, like, atmosphere with a remake. Rather than Mass Effect would look really pretty going through space and stuff. But if you were to pick, like, one or the other to get remade, I think making Dead Space scarier would be just cooler in my opinion. But no, it doesn't need to be remade, but definitely will benefit a lot from it in my opinion.
Yeah, when I look at this, and bringing up Mass Effect is great because they did just have a recent remaster trilogy. I really thought the first Mass Effect would be remade because that seemed like one that could have used it from a gameplay standpoint. When this comes out, when we see more on this, because there's no release window or anything, would you rather see this be set up exactly like the original Dead Space, but you have your enhanced lighting and everything, but the levels are the same? Or would you like to see some changes, let's say Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they made some pretty big changes to everything there?
I think I would rather it stay the way it is because, like, even getting past, like, the, oh, I love this game and what it is, I just can't see anything you would have to change with it, especially since it is already a piece in a puzzle of a trilogy. So, like, I could see this really coming in and, like, being like, okay, let's remake Dead Space, see what the buzz is for it, and then maybe get a fourth one. Whereas with Mass Effect, like, as much as Andromeda was kind of a bust in a lot of people's opinion, I don't think EA needs to, like, see how big Mass Effect is. Like, Mass Effect was, like, what people say is one of the best RPGs of all time. I don't think you really need to get buzz about it. Whereas with a Dead Space, it's definitely like, let's see if this sells. Maybe we'll just invest in a fourth. But yeah, I don't think I would really want anything changed. Dead Space 1 was already such a perfect game that I can't even think of any gameplay tweaks or anything I would want to see with it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. This kind of seems more of like a Crash Bandicoot remake, where the levels are essentially all the same. There might be a tiny tweak in the gameplay or something, but hopefully the horror is even better than before. Now that we have all these new lighting things, my guess is the ray tracing and all that is going to be the main reason why this doesn't come to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Of course, they could just downscale something like that for it to come in the future. I'm not sure. Haven't heard anything on that. But yeah, at the moment, it's just odd to me that it's not planned or announced to come to PS4 or Xbox One, because there are still a lot of people on those consoles that cannot upgrade at the moment.
Yeah, it's a dicey thing to like tackle there, because I'd like people to be able to play it, but at the same time, I would also like.
You also want the very best experience you can get. Yeah,
it's like with remaking like what I think is like top tier games for me, to like remake that. I would want it to look as like pretty as it can and to be like a reason to own a PS5. So
yeah, I remember the first time I gave Dead Space a try, I was horrified. So I'm very interested to see what they can do with this. Okay, next up, Battlefield Portals was announced. This is a part of Battlefield 2042. And from what I understood, you're taking different aspects of past Battlefield games and you can mash them together in your own like lobby. I
didn't watch EA play. This sounds cool.
So yeah, what they showed was you have your 2042 characters, but you can like match them up against armies in 1942 with like World War I and II. They also tease like some Bad Company stuff in there as well. So apparently it's like you choose what settings you want. You're like, hey, I want this from this game and this from this game. This team gets 1 tank. This team gets 10 robots, and boom. You choose like the level, the layout, and everything. It seems like you're just pulling things from different Battlefield games and setting up a custom lobby. So
that is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
It seems it's kind of hard for me to describe, but yeah, it's a really cool idea. This could be a massive thing for Battlefield going forward if it works. Who knows if there's any issues or anything when it comes out, but we will see. Battlefield 2042 looks great. I'm not much of a Battlefield fan, but I'm very excited to give this game a try, mostly for the like weather stuff. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm such a Battlefield fan. I love this series so much. We're talking about EA remakes. I want Battlefield 3, dude. Bad Company 1 and 2 would be great, but 3, that was like top tier Battlefield. That was like, I'm a COD fanboy now, I would say, if I had to like subscribe to one of them, but Battlefield 3 was like top tier, like around that era that I was only playing Battlefield, is when 3 came out.
Yeah. Battlefield 3 was the last one that I really got into. I don't think I finished the campaign. All I remember is a skyscraper falling on me at the beginning. That was weird.
Such a cool set piece. Oh my god. Don't get me started on that campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. 2042 looks great. I'm definitely going to give this Portals mode a try. We'll see how well it works. Maybe we'll get you in on something here and see how it works. Next up, Apex Legends Emergence was revealed. This is alongside a new hero called Seer. Do you play much Apex?
No, but my girlfriend was very upset that she watched the Twitch Prime thing to get her drop, but Apex didn't even have drops enabled.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this new character, he's a new tracker. I didn't really understand what his abilities are. So he's got like some kind of triangle thing on his chest, and it like opens up and these lights come out. I didn't understand what was going on there.
Yeah, I don't get Apex anymore. I used to play it when it came out, but now like my girlfriend plays it, and I'm just like, what is that? I don't even understand anymore.
I haven't played it in well over a year. I loved playing Bloodhound, who's the other tracker in the game. They were great. But
yeah, I stopped playing around the time Wattson came out.
I played a little bit. I stopped after Loba came out. But yeah,
Loba's cool.
Yeah, Loba's pretty cool. Yeah. That's really all I got on that. I just don't stick up with Apex anymore. A game that I am very much into, though, lately is Knockout City, which showed off its Season 2 content, which is all about movies. They showed off a new map that has these platforms that like randomly come up, and they're like different movie sets. So like one moment you'll like be battling on top of like a romantic comedy like bridge, and then it will like change and be like an action building or something. Some really cool stuff. Cool. Have you played Knockout City?
No, I want to really bad.
Absolutely, I recommend it. I think it is the best multiplayer game of this year.
I just love the redemption story so much because everyone called this game cringe, and I knew it looked kind of fun.
I 100% was one of those people. When they announced that game, I'm like, this game looks bad. Then I covered the beta, and I was like, oh, this is all right. Then it came out, and I tried it some more. I'm like, oh, man. I am hard into this game. I love it. It is so much fun. If you have
I was kind of interested in it because I really like Rocket Arena that they also did.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I thought this one looked pretty fun.
I figured this would be kind of like Rocket Arena. I didn't like Rocket Arena. I thought it was bland and kind of It was just a mediocre game for me.
I can't blame you there, but it was fun.
Knockout City is amazing. I absolutely love it. It's on Game Pass if you have that. There's also a free trial on every platform where you can play until you reach level 25, I think it is. So you can decide if you like it or not before you purchase it. Still, it's only like it's $20. Absolutely recommend it. It's got crossplay. It's got cross progression. It's just so much fun. Definitely give it a try if you haven't yet. And then last up, they went into Lost in Random. We got a new trailer, and we know that it is coming September 10th. This is the game that was revealed last year. It's got a lot to do with dice. You have a little like dice companion next to you, and everything looks like it's made by Tim Burton. This looks like a Tim Burton game, and I absolutely love it. I am a massive Tim Burton fan, and I want to play this game just because of that. The gameplay they showed today really didn't wow me. In all honesty, but I want to play this game just because of the aesthetic of everything. It looks so creepy and everything. I absolutely love it.
That'll probably get me like into it too. There's so many games that like have, like alright gameplay, but like the aesthetic and like the style of it just overthrows everything, and it still makes the enjoyment experience fun.
Yeah. So that was about it for EA Play Live. It was a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Beforehand, the people making Skate said that it would not be there. I think they put out some kind of teaser or something, but
yeah, I saw that and I was so mad, but I was also happy.
Yeah, that game is probably still a ways away, but maybe next year they'll show it off. I don't think they've announced another EA Play Live for this year. I think they did 2 last year. Maybe I'm thinking of Ubisoft. Yeah, there just wasn't that much to it, which was, I don't know, not that surprising, but still kind of surprising. I don't know. All right, so next up, let's cover Pokemon Unite. Brent, you said you have not played this game yet, right?
I've not, but I've been a defender for it since day one.
Okay, so Pokemon Unite is a free-to-play MOBA. It released this Wednesday for Nintendo Switch. There is a mobile version of the game that is coming out sometime in September. We don't know when yet, but when that comes out, there will be cross-play, cross-progression, and all that. So great stuff there. So I gave this game a try yesterday. Me and Joel put up a Let's Play, and we also did a stream of it. So if you're interested about that, look it up on our YouTube channel, Pixel Street Videos. Yeah, this game is really simple but really fun. I enjoy it a lot. Starts off, you pick your Pokemon at the beginning, who you want to play as, and it's just traditional MOBA. There's 3 different lanes: attack, get points. When you've gathered up your points, find the hoop on the other team's side, go in and dunk it. Yeah. Super simple. I absolutely love it. You level up your Pokemon and evolve, get new abilities as you go. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. A lot better than I thought it would be. Again, I kind of was figuring that... I kind of figured it would be fine because I'm not hugely into MOBAs, but it's pretty much been all I've played over the last 24 hours. It is great.
That is so good to hear. I'm so glad the whole Twitterverse is actually kind of enjoying this game because again, everyone dunked on it, and I was like, bro, this game looks fun.
When it was revealed last year, this was one of the most disliked things of the year. I think it was breaking records as well. There was a lot of bad juju around it. Most of that because Tencent is so heavily involved in it.
Yeah, that part's still iffy to me, but
it's iffy. But from what I've seen, none of the monetization stuff is really disgusting. I put $20 in, and I got like 5 or 6 Pokemon that I just have now. They do have the free rotation that will change all the time, but I picked my Pokemon that I want to have at all times, and they're there for me to grab. There's
cool.
There's loot boxes that you can't put money into. You can only get them through energy by completing games. So I like that aspect of it. It's only cosmetics that you get in it. Yeah, it seems like they've handled it really well. It also runs pretty good. Docked, the most I got was like, there's a FPS counter in the top left while you play. I think I was sticking around 58 to 60 frames per second docked. Handheld, I was going down to around 30, but it was fine. I didn't have any like stuttering issues. The matchmaking is really impressive as well, at least in the early days here. I press it and I'm in a match and it's asking me to ready up within 2 seconds. It's ridiculous how fast it is. Like me, Joel, and a new guy that joined our Discord last night. Sorry, I can't remember his name. I just met him. I'm terrible with names. Yeah, I would press it and like instantly put us in. It was really impressive. So, yeah, it's a lot of great stuff. I definitely recommend it. It's free. Give it a try.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely try it when that Switch OLED comes out. 'Cause that's when I'm waiting.
Do you
to
not
buy
have a
Switch
Switch now?
No, I don't have my Switch anymore. But I've wanted to just wait for the Pro to come out. So now that the OLED's coming out, I'm like, all right, I guess.
And now
it's
it's
worth
just
the
the OLED.
I think it's still worth the wait because I'm still a huge like defender of the Vita.
Yeah.
So like, give me an OLED screen again, and it's Vita 2, baby. That's all I need.
I still haven't decided if I'm gonna upgrade or not. I still have my launch day Switch, and just my biggest problem with it is the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are bad. Nintendo, just fix them. That's all you need to do, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't something you need to go out and buy, but I still think people are a little too negative about it just because of the expectations.
Because it wasn't the Pro that everyone wants.
Yeah. It's like I was bummed for sure because I've
right
been waiting to buy a Switch for the Pro, but at the same time, it's like the OLED's still cool.
Yeah, no,
like,
I did cover... Go ahead.
The LAN port on the dock, no, you're good. The OLED screen, bigger screen. I still think that's cool. It's just not 4K Switch, which I think would segment the player base anyway, because then you're gonna have devs that are only gonna like make games for the Pro, and then at that point, it's like just make a Switch 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I did cover that. I wrote an article back when the OLED was announced. Like, is this worth it? And really, what I came down to was, if you already have a Switch, if you want the upgrades for the handheld stuff, go for it. If you don't have a Switch yet, you might as well just pay the extra $50 and get that. Like, there's not any big jump between them in power. It's the OLED screen, it's the speakers when you're in handheld, and the Ethernet port even. But you can buy an adapter for your dock that you have now for like $30.
But no one seems to do that. Just check Smash Online.
What's that?
But no one seems to buy that adapter. Just check Smash Online.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Or maybe it just doesn't work. I mean, we're talking about a Nintendo online service here.
That's facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's nothing huge, but...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get why people would want to upgrade it. Yeah, it's just the Joy-Con thing with me would be the only thing why I want to upgrade, but they're the same Joy-Cons, so I don't know. My battery life is still fine. I get like 3 hours in Breath of the Wild, which was pretty much, I think it was like 4 hours when it first came out, so it's gone down a little bit, but nothing terrible.
I think it was like 2.5. Either way.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think the gimmick of the Joy-Cons is definitely worn off for me as like time has went by. I do appreciate that I can play Smash with my buddies with multiple controllers, but I always just get pissed off like when like
they're not good controllers on their own.
Yeah, it's like when I have two sets of controllers and like me and my friend are playing and someone else joins, I'm like, I want to play with you, but I don't want to play with one Joy-Con, so it's always annoying. But I do appreciate that you can do it. It's just not great anymore.
I'm playing a lot more with my Pro controller because, I mean, I've got bigger hands, so playing on a little Joy-Con sucks anyway. Really, the only thing I like playing with the Joy-Con on is Super Mario Party and probably the new Mario Party whenever it comes out, because it'll be like the same thing. But yeah, just everything else, when you're playing on just one Joy-Con, sucks.
It really does.
All right. Now let's hop into our quick news here. First up, Anna Torv is Tess in the Last of Us series, and I forgot I was going to look up who this is. Do you know?
Tess or the actor?
The actress. I know Tess.
Oh, okay.
Tess is the lady that dies at the beginning with Joel. Well, after the daughter death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that lady.
Spoilers! I haven't played that game.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Give me a second here. I am looking at...
I'm looking at her now.
She was in Fringe and Heavenly Sword. Mindhunter. I'm not seeing anything like huge that I would recognize her in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know her. I'm not saying that she's not a good actress or anything. I just don't know who she is. Yeah, how are you feeling about the Last of Us series right now?
As someone who was a backseat gamer for the first game, through my mom and my sister and my brother even playing that game multiple times, I'm excited for it. Obviously, I'm not attached to the IP so much, but I think it's really cool. I like Pedro Pascal a lot, so seeing him as Joel is pretty cool. I'm excited that the reports of like it's a more expensive show than Game of Thrones, I think I read. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. If they actually like put the time and effort into writing a really good story, I'm really excited to see like how that goes. And if they end up getting into The Last of Us Part 2, I know what happens in that game and I still defend it, but at the same time, if they can get to the point where they get to the events of that show and they can write a compelling narrative to where people are like, oh, okay, I actually do like this storyline, I think that would be really cool. So like I think there are so many things you can do with this show and that I hope do happen. But at the end of the day, I hope it's just fun television, since I don't have a huge attachment to the IP.
Yeah, when I think
Whereas with the Ghost of Tsushima movie, I'll be picking that with a fine-tooth comb, being like, they didn't do this right with Jin.
Yeah. When the Last of Us series comes out, I'm just mostly interested in how much can they separate it from the games. So, because, like, if I know everything that happens in The Last of Us, I've played through it. I've played through The Last of Us Part 2. I don't want to hear those stories word for word again. Like, obviously you have all the characters, so the same beats are going to be there, and that's fine. But like, I don't need to see The Last of Us the game, the movie, or the series, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm okay with that because I'm still... Because obviously you have the same storyline, but you have Troy Baker's take on it, and you have Pedro Pascal's take on it. So, like, I do hope they switch it up a little bit, but I will be interested to see, like, how the different actors and actresses kind of toe the line of, like, telling the story a little bit differently. Because I'm still okay with getting the main beats of Joel's daughter dies, he meets Ellie, and then Ellie at the end with the doctors and everything. Like, those same story beats, but maybe having, like, different things in the middle to kind of like tie in, but still kind of like truck along on the same path.
Yeah, I kind of think of like The Walking Dead, where the graphic novel has its story, and then the show really it didn't like completely diverge from it, but there are very big differences between the two. If they can pull off something like that, I'll be perfectly happy and ready.
Or still in the Kirkman verse, Invincible, what they seem to be doing with the show right now. I'm a huge fan of the comic, and they're kind of towing the line of like, okay, they're doing an arc that was in the comics like 40 issues later, and now in season 1 we've already started this arc and things like that. If they do that with The Last of Us, that'll be cool. Like just taking and switching things up a little bit and Because Invincible, I still think, obviously hasn't fully came out yet, but I think they're on track to tell the story the way it needs to be told, and it'll still be a good representation of my favorite comic book. But they're also doing it in a way that you get something different out of it. Like, I'm getting something different out of it as a comic book reader.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if they do that
but you're
for
still
The Last
getting
of
that core
Us,
experience there.
exactly, you're still getting the main beats and the main kind of like cool moments about it that make it my favorite story. But they're switching it up a little bit.
Yeah. No, I do have faith in everyone involved that the Last of Us series is going to be good. Have they announced when it's coming out yet?
I don't think so. They're filming it now, aren't they?
Are they? Okay. Last of Us series release. Let's see. 2022 is all they've got at the moment. So, all right.
Okay.
Next up, Aloy is coming to Genshin Impact. Cool.
I want this so... I texted my girlfriend today because she's, like, obsessed with that game. I was like, babe, you gotta get this for me, please.
Yeah, I haven't played Genshin Impact since I got an early access thing in it, so I just haven't touched it. I know it's huge. It's absolutely massive. It's a big driver on GamePro.com.
Yeah, me and Andrew did an episode for it. I think episode 4 of our podcast, and then after that, I just didn't touch it again. I think it's cool. It just was never able to really like hook me, but I still like the idea, and I don't think it's a Breath of the Wild ripoff because it does so many different things.
They started with the Breath of the Wild
template, I would say, and then they
just built onto it.
Yeah, because it's like an ever-evolving world. It's like... Yeah. It's more influenced, I think, by like Fortnite in a very weird way because like there's always like things happening in that game.
They saw a lot of stuff from massive games. They're like, hey, let's put that into our game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also Aloy's just awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, an Injustice: Gods Among Us animated movie is coming this year. I'm kind of the same thing with the Last of Us series. How are they going to differentiate it? They don't have I'm blanking on his name. Kevin Conroy is Batman in this, which is a fail. Like, no, he is Batman. I need him as my Batman voice.
I just feel bad for him because I know he likes Batman, but at the same time, it's like, how many times has he gotten that call and just been like, "Hey, can you be Batman again?"
He loves it. So keep letting him do it. Let him do it for as long as he wants.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it though. There have been some really cool Batman voice actors, but
yeah.
I just saw the news, and as much as the DC guy as I am, I did not read anything. I don't know if it's going off of the game or the comics, but the comics have like a huge like 4 year storyline before the games even like begin. So if they touch on that a little bit,
I think they
that
are
would be
connected,
so
though, aren't
good.
they?
Oh yeah, like the comics take place before the game, so they're still in the same universe.
I'm trying to see.
Same with Injustice 2. I think they did like a year. No, actually, I'm wrong. It's like year 1 through 5 for Injustice, and then the game happens, I believe, and then Injustice 2 has comics in between and after the game, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing like anything. I assume that they're gonna follow the same storyline in the comics and the games. Really, the big thing out of here is just it's so cool that a NetherRealm game has a story being adapted for a movie, even if it's animated. DC animated movies are great.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched any of them, give them a try.
The DCAU is like my guilty pleasure. I am the biggest. I say that a lot, but I'm the biggest.
Great. Do not feel guilty about it.
Some of them are dumb, but like most of them are so good.
You don't think Batman Ninja is not dumb? I watched that. I saw bats turn into a giant Batman mech. Okay, like
and then monkeys and like mech
monkeys. Yeah, it's absolutely asinine, and it is brilliant, okay?
I will say, I wish I loved that one, because I wanted it to be, like, so much more than it was, but it is so dumb that I kind of like it somewhere in my heart, but...
It is completely dumb. It is the stupidest thing, but I enjoy it a lot.
I just felt bad because, like, it was when me and my girlfriend, like, first started dating. So I'm like, all right, come on, let's watch this Batman movie I'm really interested in. Let's watch it. And then we both watched it, and I just felt so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, I did not know it was this dumb.
That's a Batman mech. Yeah, that just came out of nowhere. It was so weird, man.
It's like, on one hand, she's, like, a huge anime fan, so she gets, like, anime weirdness. But on the other hand, for a Batman movie, this is like...
Yeah, it was
like weirder. It's weirder than like anime normally gets.
It was very weird. There's another Batman movie coming out this year.
Long Halloween came out. And then
is it already out?
Part 1. It's so good.
I need to watch it.
Have you read the comic for it?
I have not.
Top tier comic storyline.
Alright, it's definitely going to be something that I look out for then.
If I could recommend 2 more, obviously Long Halloween I'll recommend. Batman the White Knight, fantastic, goated story. And then I would say Hush, or I'll leave it at that. Hush.
Okay.
I'll just give like...
Yeah. I've heard really good things about Hush as well.
R.I.P. is really good too, Batman R.I.P. It's just very weird and convoluted, but it's really good.
Alright. Alright, next up, Skull and Bones is now in alpha, but has had a rough development. Shocker, it was announced in 2015? Of course it's had a rough development. I don't know. That was a dumb headline. Yeah. I don't know when you can expect this game if it's just an alpha, but if they're in alpha now, they've got to show it by next year, right?
Yeah. I think they just want it to be more than they really thought it was going to be, and then they had to figure out, like, okay, how do we do this? Because it was supposed to be, like, just a ship game, right? And then I think
all they showed was ship combat.
Yeah, and at each E3, you kind of got the sense that they wanted it to be, like, a story game. Like, they were kind of like, okay, we could make a cool pirate game like Assassin's Creed 4.
And I think the success of Sea of Thieves has also probably played a big role in their development as well, where they're like, oh, we can't come out behind them or we'll just be buried. Yeah, we'll see how it looks whenever they show it. Yeah, it's been a long time, of course. I just love that thing. Oh, it's had a rough development, guys. You think? Okay.
It's been 8 years, man.
Yeah. Nintendo says no new Switch model is currently planned after the release of the OLED model. They also said earlier this year that there was not going to be any new model this year. They said the same thing the year the Switch Lite released, so take it with a grain of salt, but I don't believe that we're getting a Pro model anytime soon.
Yeah, I guess we should have had our Switch talk now instead of earlier. But,
regardless.
Yeah, I just feel like I get the want for a Pro, but I just want a 2 at this point. Like, it's like, at this point, almost 5 years?
Here, let's talk about this real quick. Because Nintendo, when they make consoles, they make something completely different than what came before it, most of the time. Unless it is those mid-generation jumps forward, like the new 3DS and stuff like that. So, do you think they would go with a fully new Switch console that isn't just a half-generation upgrade? Because if you look at what they've done, they go NES, SNES to N64. Okay, that's a bit of a normal progression. But then you go to like the GameCube and the Wii, which was a massive jump. The Wii U, a massive jump. And now the Switch, a massive jump. Do you think they would make a Switch 2?
Yes and no, but both are for the same reason, and that's the Wii U. Yes, because the Wii was massive, so they decided, okay, let's go on with the Wii and then make the Wii U. And also, counterpoint, the Wii U did not sell.
The Wii U was a massive failure.
But at the same time, you're taking something that, yes, the Wii was, like, revolutionary, but that was for, like, you know, like, moms and, like, families and stuff like that. Like, the Switch has really been this is cringy, but a gamer's console.
Yeah.
Like, kids, like,
which is what
it's like having a DS. So it's like going from the DS to the DSi or, like, the 3DS. And actually, I just thought of that. So that's exactly why I think they would do, like, I think they would switch up a Switch 2. No pun intended. But I don't know how to snap. But yeah, I think
that's how they switch it up. Instead of the one, it's
That's so funny. But yeah, I think they would probably adopt the handheld model for this, like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Like, I see this being like their line of handhelds because this thing was so popular that they can't just be like, alright, home console again. It's like, no, you kind of have to go from there next time. Like, you can't go back to having a console and a handheld.
It would be such a weird move for them if they were to separate them again. Like, it just seems like the hybrid console is just where they have to focus their efforts now after what it's done for them.
Yeah, and that's really got them, like, where they are. You see so many, like, console owners or PC owners being like, alright, I have a PC and I have a Switch. Or, like, I have a PlayStation and I have a Switch. Like, obviously for Nintendo games, but also, like, that is the handheld. Like, so many PlayStation people, like, Vita's dead, so we're using the Switch now.
Dead as heck.
But
what are you going to do, play on your phone?
I still bring my Vita around, but...
I recently found my PSP from back in the day. I never had a Vita. I never really cared for it, but I loved my PSP.
I need another PSP.
Last up here on Quick News, Tom Clancy's Elite Squad is shutting down October 4th. And this just in, Tom Clancy's Elite Squad had launched last year at some point.
Oh, is it that mobile game?
Yeah, this is the mobile game that had like all the different Tom Clancy stuff. You know, like how they're doing with X Defiant, but it was mobile.
At least X Defiant looks good. The other one...
It looks alright. It looks a lot better than Elite Squad looked. And like I just said, I had no idea it even came out, so...
Yeah, me neither.
It shutting down is not that surprising, but also surprising.
Yeah, I'm always a defender of mobile games because they definitely can be, like, good, or like, there's a huge market for them, but you have to make a good game first for them to be, like, fun and accepted. This was not that.
I think also a lot of people were just mad that they put Sam Fisher in this. This is like... Because they just will put him in anything except a new Splinter Cell game.
So, I want to ask you a question if we have time.
Yeah, we got time.
So, I've been seeing a lot of people being like, oh, we want a new Splinter Cell game. And it's kind of got me thinking, not that I'd be opposed to it, but also, do you think this is just a thing to where we can't have franchises that, like, end anymore? Like, would you rather, like, it end on a good note? Or, like, just keep getting new games. Because, like, begging for a new game, it's like, I get it. You like the franchise. But at the same time, I feel like it has to end at some point. Like, wouldn't people consider that a good thing?
So, first off, let me ask you, did the last Splinter Cell end the story? I've never played Splinter Cell. I have no idea.
I don't think so. From what I remember, I don't think it was a cliffhanger, but also just wasn't an ending either. Okay. Like, it wasn't a complete ending either.
Okay. As to can we have franchises end, if it's so beloved that your fans are asking for more, I think you got to put out more. For example, The Last of Us. I know The Last of Us Part 2 came out, and they are planning on putting more Last of Us out, though. After that first game released, a lot of people, myself included, was like, oh, that is a satisfying ending. I am okay with the story ending there. Mm-hmm. If you don't have that, I'm fine with you keep going. If people are still going to buy the product, if they still find a lot of enjoyment out of it, I don't need a franchise to end. I don't care how oversaturated it is. Mario's been running for 35 years now. He's not ending anytime soon. And I love his game still. I'll grab whatever they throw out at me.
Yeah. I'm teetering the line right now with Assassin's Creed being my favorite of, like, on one hand, I do like getting new games, but on the other hand, I would like if the perception of the franchise was, you know, good if it ended with Black Flag or something. Because now the DNA is just kind of, like, different.
The thing with Assassin's Creed is...
And I like every Assassin's Creed game except Odyssey.
Wow, Odyssey's my favorite. I like them all except for the first one. The
first one's kind of fun.
I love Odyssey. With Assassin's Creed, I think you would have more of a discussion there if they hadn't changed up the formula with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. If we were still getting the same thing every year there, like we were for like 5 straight years, then yes, I get it. Because at that point, I love Assassin's Creed 2. I was like, I'm so tired of Assassin's Creed, man. I want a break. I would have been fine with them ending it.
I agree with you, but also at the same time, you're kind of taking a franchise's DNA and just abandoning that and then like giving it new DNA. So while I think Valhalla is a fantastic game, it's a horrible Assassin's Creed game. And so at that point, it's like, would you just make a new franchise? So I'm teetering that line with the Assassin's Creed like Infinity news. I'm just kind of like, come on, man. Am I never going to get what I love out of this franchise again?
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed Infinity stuff is going to be really interesting to see because I keep going back and forth on how they're going to handle it. But that's a discussion for another day. I'm right there with you that Valhalla is not a good Assassin's Creed game. It doesn't even have to do with the Assassins, except they keep just forcing in the present-day story to connect it. And it doesn't need to be done, honestly. Origins...
I'll disagree with you there.
What's that?
I'll disagree with you there, but...
Yeah. I always hated the present-day stuff. I never liked it at all.
I'll explain it in my perspective.
Go ahead.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
So the way I see... like, I get a lot of people play the games for, like, oh, I'm in Rome, I'm in Italy. Italy, it's the same thing. Oh, I'm in the Middle East. I'm in like America, like British America. But at the same time, the connective tissue was the modern day. You were like reliving the story of Desmond Miles, someone who's been in the Assassin's fold forever and is now having to like reach in his pocket to like his ancestors and learn things from them to like connect between the ancient civilizations of like the Isu and then like branch all those paths. Like I just think the modern day story from 1 through 3, so those first 5 games, the story was just so good of how they weaved it in between like having like Ezio talk to Minerva or like and talk to Desmond through Ezio.
Real quick here, I understand what you're saying and I get those points. The problem is there's been so many games after those 5 and they still throw them in routinely. In Valhalla, we have no connection to Desmond anymore, and we're just randomly being thrown out to, what's her name? I can't even remember her name. Layla. She's completely forgettable. I don't care who she is. What, were they in Virginia where they found Ivor's body? Like, I'm like, why am I being tossed out here for this? I don't care.
No, I agree with you, and like I can rant all day about how they've ruined.
We could have really long discussion about this.
Yeah, like how they ruined new modern day, but I still would like it to be there if they can just fix it. Because how are you gonna be like, all right, in Syndicate, we're gonna show that Juno's still there, she's still doing her thing, and then kill her off in a comic book?
Yeah. Yeah, in Black Flag, you're just a new hire at the Abstergo company making a movie for the opposite side here. Oh, let's look at this sexy assassin pirate, but we're still Templars here. We're gonna really show how awesome this guy is.
I think if they had done that only, that would have been fine. If they had done it through like 1 year and then moved on to like Desmond's son or like something like that, it would have been fine. Because I think it was interesting, like seeing from a first person's perspective, like looking at the sage and things like that, being tricked by him, that was cool. And then getting the Juno reveal at the end and then having that go to Syndicate. But at the same time, they just kept going with that and then going for the Initiate thing, and now we're finally getting Layla. So like I like that playable modern days back, but they're not really like pushing it in any direction because they killed Juno already and Alan Rickon. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
You have finished Valhalla, right?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I kind of know what happens.
No spoilers then. I won't say any spoilers.
Okay.
I really want to say something. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we gotta switch topics now because it's all I can think about. All right.
I'll hit you up when I beat it.
Okay, for sure. Because something you just said, I really want to talk about. Okay. Real quick, we have about 5 minutes here. Have you been playing anything recently? Anything notable?
That's all I've been playing is Fortnite.
Oh, you're on the Fortnite train? All right.
Dude, level 52 right now on this battle pass. I'm so hyped.
What's the new thing now? I don't keep up with Fortnite. I saw a Morty or a Rick thing from Rick and Morty. I don't know. Are they still doing the crossover thing?
Yeah, Rick is the tier 100 on the battle pass. So I'm really trying to get him. And then, yeah, Superman, I think, is the one that you unlock after the battle pass. He comes in 23 days. I believe you have to have a tier 100 to get him. So grinding up for that. I'm just really enjoying it recently because while I do like playing the game and trying to win, they've had it for a few seasons, but they have quests and like ever evolving like things that they put into like the challenge log for you to do. Like it's stupid stuff like, oh, go light a fire at this place, or like, oh, go check on this egg over here, things like that. But like it really keeps me engaged with being like, okay, I'll log on, do my dailies, and like just do a few challenges like, oh, I have to use an alien weapon and kill 10 people. Okay, I'm playing differently, or like things like that. It just keeps me entertained because I know I'm not going to win every game, but I'm doing some challenges and I'm having fun with it. I was playing with Matt the other day. We were getting a couple dubs. It was fun. And then yesterday, me and my friends Holden, Matt, and Dallas, we were playing GTA Online, trying to do one of those heists. We were doing the Prison Break heist, and we like failed 20 times on the first mission to like get the plane. But we finally did it, and it was like the most rewarding thing ever because we hid in the bunker and just had everyone like file at us.
Surprisingly, I've actually also been playing GTA, but I've been playing the story mode. I haven't been playing online lately. Although there is a new like some kind of car update that they just put out. The
new heist.
I haven't touched that. I do love the heists in online. They're a ton of fun. But so I've been going through because I never played the story. Back when GTA 5 came out, I really burnt myself out on GTA 4. I ran through, I like went through the entire story within a week because I don't know, I was just blasting my way through it, and I just was like, oh man, I'm so tired of Grand Theft Auto now. So now, and then online came out, and I just never went back to the story. Now I'm back on the story, and man, Grand Theft Auto, I love Grand Theft Auto. I've had a ton of fun with it in the past. I've never been a big fan of the campaigns, of the story modes. I don't think the missions are that good. They're kind of bland.
Really?
I've just never been a huge fan of them.
I thought 5 really, like, I think San Andreas is my favorite, but 5 is really, like, picked up, like, with the 3 protagonists and made it really interesting.
Yeah. My thing is that I don't really like any of them. Franklin is fine. Franklin is probably the closest one that I like, but I hate Lamar. Lamar sucks.
What? Dude, Lamar's the homie.
No, I see him, I hear him talk, and I'm like, get him away from me, man.
Nah, man, like Lamar is chill as hell.
Nah, okay. All right. Trevor, yeah, psychotic guy. Cool, whatever. Michael, depressed guy. All right, get it. They're just not that interesting to me, really. Yeah, that's really all I got. I've been playing that in Pokemon Unite. While you were talking about the Battle Pass thing with Fortnite, it did remind me that the Battle Pass in Pokemon Unite right now, the end goal for that is a new skin for Cinderace, the final evolution of Scorbunny. Cool. And it puts him in a pirate captain's outfit, and I really want to get it. But
that has given me, like, Vietnam flashbacks to like me playing League and like getting skins from Miss Fortune, getting all her skins. Can't. Yeah. Dude, I was at Holden's house. And I was using his PlayStation and I was buying a bunch of Fortnite skins, and he was getting so mad at me because like the season was about to end. I think, yeah, the season was about to end last season. I wanted the Raven skins so bad. No, it's like Chad was there too, and I was like, guys, do I spend $60 right now to buy up the Battle Pass and get Raven? And I did it, and I'm a consumer. But I also bought the Stonks guy, and it was really nice.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, I think that is where we need to end episode 152 of the Pixel Street Podcast. Thank you so much for watching or listening wherever you're you are at. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street and subscribe to us on YouTube by searching Pixel Street Videos. There you will find exclusive content from us that you will not find anywhere else. Lately, like I said earlier, me and Joel have been playing Pokemon Unite. There's a Let's Play up there. There's also a stream of us playing there. We've also continued our Doki Doki Literature Club Plus gameplay, which...
Let's go.
Do you know that story?
Yes.
Okay, good. I've already played through it. I already know what it is.
Okay.
Joel and Connor don't, though. So what we've been doing is I play through it, and we do voices and everything, and to avoid spoilers for other people that might be watching this, we're past the first big part, where things start picking up. That's where
unfortunately
we're getting close to the second one, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. I want to go on record and say Sayori is the best girl.
She is. She's absolutely brilliant. All of them are good, though. I like them all.
True.
So yeah, be sure to check that out. You can also join our Discord by following the link in the description of this video or podcast, and become a part of a growing community of nerds like Brent here. Come chill on Gillahan Island with us. Finally, wherever you are watching or listening to the show, please give us a truthful rating. Whatever it is, it'll help us get better in the long run, and that's really all we want to do. We want to put out a better product for you. Brent, where can the people find you?
I haven't been doing anything recently.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter, I guess. Porkchop1864. He'll see anything I do there. When I do record, we have a podcast at the Free to Play Podcast. But Andrew's been working a lot. I just moved, so I haven't been doing nothing. Just been playing Fortnite. But if you want to see my dubs, follow me on Twitter.
All right. You can find me on Twitter at RevXShadows. You can also find my writing on Gamer.com. I've been covering a lot of Pokemon Unite, a lot of Call of Duty Zombies was the big thing with the Marauder token.
Let's go.
Map. Brilliant map. So much fun.
So good. So good.
Yeah, other than that, I don't really have any immediate plans for the YouTube channel except for just Doki Doki. So keep watching that.
If you want to... I might post it on Twitter because I don't think you can search and find the channel. But when August 1st rolls around and the new Lego Star Wars set's coming out, I'm going to vlog me getting the new Republic gunship.
Oh, really?
So, okay. Lego News Guy 2.
Is it one of those, huge ones?
Yeah, the UCS one.
Ah, okay. That's cool.
So excited for it.
Yeah, I want to see a video of that go up. I want to see, a time-lapse of you building it.
I don't think I'll do that.
Dude, just set up a camera and let it run, and just fast forward everything. You got this.
You know what? I'll think about it.
I believe in you. All right. Thanks so much for watching and listening, guys. We'll catch you next week, same time and place. Bye.
Peace. Just Monica. It's definitely one of my favorites.